Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Speed Gaming for the continuation of our Metroid Prime Cross Game Cup Randomizer Tournament. My name is Mary, and I'll be your host for today. We apologize for the slight delay. We had a technical problem on the audio. That problem has since been resolved, and we are all good to go. Once again, we have Team Bombs on Thardus going against Team ETMS, with Steve and Arrow Razor versus Ivy Paw and Cal and Chris. For those of you new to our tournament or joining us for the first time, we welcome you. Our goal today is to see which team can beat both games the fastest. Whichever the sum of both players will be the final number. So, if someone beats Prime, we still have to wait for Echoes to finish before the time can be calculated. It can be anyone's game. It could be hectic. It could be a reed seed. We could have a required temple boss. We could have anything in the world happen. It's up for whatever the game wants to throw at us today, honestly. But we'll know more once we get into it. The race has started. The runners have been released. So let's get down right to it, shall we? Now, as I am here solo, I do want to point out we do have a wonderful tracker joining us today. Jeff Fader Jr. is here in the booth. You won't hear their voice, but you will see them keeping track of everything that happens. So if Jeff or I miss something, please help us, because watching 4 screens is a little difficult sometimes. But starting right off, Echoes going right for a translator hint. It's telling us a suit can be found near a translator gate. We got a good few options where that suit could be. And immediately, Echoes missile expansion sent from Alcove. That gets Echoes their mock missiles. Now, we don't have launchers, so it's technically not logical, but we are still going to use those missiles because any early damage against Albert is helpful. We will definitely take it. Can we get a GFMC suit? Yes, K-Rard, it is absolutely possible for GFMC to have a suit. What's even better, it'd be nice if it's in the crate item, because the crate item can be duplicated quite easily using cutscene skip. As we just skip what we do for GFMC, if there is an item in the crate, we skip the cutscene trigger. And by skipping the cutscene trigger, we can actually make that crate spawn twice, allowing us to duplicate the item. There are no runner's agreements. Thank you for mentioning that, Camir. No runner's agreements. This is just the base tournament settings. And it's possible Echo starts with missiles. It's possible I might have just... Yeah, because we have 5, 10, 15. Yeah, I think Echo does start with missiles in this one. But we hope you're having a wonderful day as well. Thank you all for joining us once again here at Speed Gaming. And from all of us at the Metroid Prime Randomizer and the Randovania communities, we welcome you for joining us on this amazing tournament. We still have a handful of races to go during this first bracket stage, and a lot more races after this. Well, looks like we got our first energy tank. Energy tank on Albert the Alpha Splinter. That's going to help Prime out later when they get to Magmore. As much health as we can take before entering Magmore would be great. You know, finding various suit wouldn't be bad either, but we'll absolutely take the health. The good thing is, since Prime does have missiles, it's going to let both Steve and Ivy Paw get right into Artifact Temple. We can get our Artifact hints now. That way we don't have to try to hunt for them later. As trying to route in Artifact Temple, you'd have to take a save warp, and that might throw off your entire early game routing. Echoes, meanwhile, has just entered the temple grounds. We're going to check temple assembly site as a Prime Spider Ball is on Artifact Temple. Good news for you, Prime. Have your Spider Ball. So right away, it looks like Arrow does want whatever's here on Temple Assembly site. They're going right for what we call Task Jump. Now, Task does not mean Tool Assisted. This is what we call Temple Assembly site, just abbreviated as Task. What we're doing here is a slope jump. We're jumping as we hit this slope to gain a little bit of extra height. Oh, artifact hints. Get your pens and paper ready. Your artifacts today include Life Grove, Fiery Shores, War Ritual Grounds, Lava Lake, Incash 1, Cargo Freight Lift, Profane Path, PPC, or PCA, transit station, and sanctuary. There we go. Ooh, we have a dark visor on Temple Assembly Site. Nice catch. Nice catch, chat. Dark visor will significantly help us when we get later on. Ooh, we have a prime expansion. Oh, Ivy's visor can be found guarded by a boss. That's not something you want to see. So we know we have either X-ray or thermal guarded by some boss. Which boss? Oh, we don't know. It could be any boss. Oh, and we missed. Where was Prime Space Jump? I clearly missed that. Oop, Arrow sent it. Oh, there we go. Transport to Aegon Waste. That's where it was. So Prime Space Jump on Transport to Aegon. Looks like Ivy's climbing, I want to say, Root Cave, possibly going for Arbor Chamber. We're going to see what's hiding behind the wall here first. There's a Dark Beam hiding behind the wall. So that's a logically locked X-ray visor for Dark Beam. If that's the case, I would assume we're going to find X-ray on Bomb Guardian. And we have Emerald Translator hiding right underneath the bridge. That'll help us later when we get to Torvus for some translator hints. But nothing we can do with Emerald right now. Aegon doesn't have anything Emerald locked. And right now we got Echoes going right through Mining Plaza here in Aegon Wastes. Arrow's trying to peek Mining Plaza, see if anything's worthwhile. If Mining Plaza is required, we're going to have to fight a Morbus, or at the very minimum, we need to return the Aegon energy. And doing that out of bounds is a bit tricky. We don't really want to do that unless we absolutely have to. But Chad is absolutely right. Fantastic information. We have a required X-ray and grapple just to get that Dark Beam. So it's entirely possible that hint we saw in the elevator, Ivy's visor hiding behind a boss, it could be Bomb Guardian right here hiding X-ray, which in turn will lead to an early grapple beam to get that Dark Beam logically. Now, do we need Dark Beam for early Aegon? No, we don't need it for early Aegon. It certainly helps. Just like that Amber Translator Callum found on the portal access. Yeah, DMT is considered a boss. Yes, it does. It does have a health bar. DMT is considered a boss. Oh, and Seekers. We know where Seekers are. Mining Station Access. That's not a bad spot for them. And what's also not a bad spot is Echo's main power bombs being on top of this little half pipe right before Tower of Light. We have so much going on in the first few minutes of this race. And once again, I want to apologize in advance if we do miss something. Yeah, we are a little bit short-staffed tonight, but we're going to do our very best to make sure you have a wonderful viewing experience. So Amber Translator, we're going to get these Amber hints telling us Seekers are in Mining Station Access. So we know Seekers are going to be early, which is wonderful to have. And, oh, there's missiles to Prime with Prime Supers on the half pipe. So we know Prime Boost Ball logically locks Prime's... Speaking of supers, we're using the supers to get the Echoes bombs. Okay, sure. Just send a bunch of major upgrades immediately. We're not even 10 minutes in. But this is absolutely wonderful. Bombs are going to help Echoes out tremendously. Oh, and a Morbus Guard's an energy tank. Nothing we need. And I'm being told Space Jump is logical for half pipe. So because we have Prime Space, that puts supers and in turn Echoes bombs into logic. Now with bombs, that's going to let us get Mining Station access for these Seekers here. There's a Seeker sent to Callum. And most likely Arrow's going to go back as well because of those bombs in just a minute. There we go. Great timing. Oh, Arrow used their only power bomb to break open Mining Station access. And here's the Morph Ball bombs just sent by Steve. Probably could have sent those a bit earlier, Steve, to save that power bomb, but that's okay. We're just messing around. That's pretty funny timing, though. Alrighty, so with that being said, looks like Ivy's going right for Watery Hall. We're going to check what's in the water and on the upper level. Steve most likely is going for Watery Hall as well. Just gonna be a little bit behind on it. And also, while we have the time, I want to go quick shout out to Z1 Randomizer, rating us with a party of 37. Thanks for the raid and welcome to the Cross Game Cup Randomizer Tournament. We're happy to have you on board. So here comes Bomb Guardian. You see Bomb Guardian? No, you don't. Oh, yep, there we go. There goes Bomb Guardian. Instant vaporization because of a power bomb. Yeah, you're not supposed to have power bombs versus Bomb Guardian. And it appears my logic was wrong. It is not. The X-ray visor is not here on Bomb Guardian. All right, we were a little too excited for that, but that's okay. Might be a different boss that has our X-ray visor. Yeah, Dark Missile Trooper, that's a great suggestion, chat. So, long story short, a lot of early bosses in Echoes. Oh, we have a movement system submerged in water. Movement system in water, and there's gravity boost. All right, show of hands. Who wants to see Echo's space jump on Torvus Lagoon? I know why you do, because that'd be hilarious. You gotta go to Torvus just for your space jump. I want to see who else would think that'd be great. And KR, I know you want to see it. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Looks like Steve's making their way over to Hive Mecha. We're going to see what's on this early game boss. Arrows climb. Oh, we have a light beam in Mine Shaft. So light beam Mine Shaft. That's not a bad spot, but that means light beam is logically locked behind dark beam, and we're still out of logic for our dark beams. So that really puts the question on where is X-ray? Yeah, we got a lot of places where X-ray could be. Oh, but we got Boost Ball. Now, that's why we always scan these Echoes Ball upgrades. So, Cannonball. Cannonball, we're thankful it's not. Boost Ball, we're absolutely going to take. And do we have anything good in Mining Station B? Does the hint tell us anything? Morph Ball bombs near a Boost Spinner. Alright, so we know Prime's bombs are near an Echo's Boost Spinner. Not a lot of Boost Spinners in Echoes. Although with those early Seekers, how much you want to put Hall of Honor dead might have Prime bombs. So we're just now about to crest the 15-minute mark. We have Annihilator beams sent to Echoes from Ivy Paw. Using Spider Ball to climb this track here, and I want to say Gallery. No, this is not Gallery. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with Prime room names, so we're going to make this mistake a lot this race. But Echo Space Jump on the top of that spider track. Great, so we need Prime bombs to get that. Upper Dynamo, thank you, K-Rar. So, we need Prime bombs to get Echo Space Jump, but Echo Space Jump, well, we know the movement system submerged in water isn't Space Jump, so it very well could be, and almost guaranteed is, it's going to be Screw Attack somewhere in the water. So, if I had to put money on it, I'd say we probably have Screw Attack in Torvus Lagoon, of all places. And not the best place for it, but not the worst. Because this Dark Beam is still out of logic, because we need this X-ray for our logic chain to be complete. As Rainovania has a set progression. The game Rainovania expects you to collect items in a certain order per se. So because the item that we need for Dark Beam is locked behind X-Ray, you're supposed to have X-Ray before the game recognizes any Dark Beam checks. But because we have Dark Beam, we can do those checks. It's just that in the chain of progression for Rainovania, it doesn't expect us to have that opportunity open to us. And that's okay. We're still going to abuse it. We're not going to put Dark Beam on hiatus just because it's not logical yet. And it looks like both Echoes players are high-fiving each other. And what we mean by high-five in this case are when both Echoes or any runner is in the same room at the same time. Echoes right now is going for Portal Terminal, or correction, Portal Chamber. We're going to completely skip this puzzle, by the way. You don't need to do the entire puzzle. Portal Terminal only checks to see if the last sand block on the puzzle has been destroyed. If it has, the portal will open and activate. But it looks like Team ETMS is going right for Zoid. Say hello to Burn Dome, everyone. Everybody's favorite. I'm classifying Burn Dome as a mini-boss. There's no health bar. But that's just my opinion. Now, we don't have bombs to get out, unfortunately. But what we do have is Boost Ball. And because Prime has Boost Ball... No, wait, Prime does not have Boost Ball. We can't do the slope jump to get out. So we're going to have to save warp if we can't get out. And by save warp means we're just going to leave the game, go back to the last save that we made. As if bombs are not here on Zoid... Yeah, well, actually, we know they're not here on Zoid. We got a hint for them. And interesting play here. Callum has decided to leave Portal Terminal. We're leaving Dark Aegon to go for Transport Center. And Callum is making this interesting play here, going right to Crossroads. So Crossroads, he might have seen something he really wants if he's taking all this time to get it. By the way, say hi to Wave Beam, everyone. Wave to the Wave Beam, as Zoid had our Wave Beam. Now Ivy's really stuck because he really wants to keep that Wave Beam. That's going to be great when he gets to Fendrana. But unfortunately, Ivy can't leave. He doesn't have Boost Ball, and he doesn't have bombs. And looks like both Arrow and Callum are checking early Dark Aegon. Now, early Dark Aegon, it's not a bad play, although we do have that hint for a movement system in water. So I would say rush to Torvus, check Torvus Lagoon. If it's not there, then continue your early Aegon, because you really want to get that hint out of the way now in case that movement system is something really useful. Let's say Screw Attack. And it appears we do have a hint telling us that bombs are somewhere in Torvus. I must have missed something major. Unless they're classifying bombs as a movement system. Oh, that's right, Nye. Thank you. Prime bombs near a boost spinner. You're absolutely right. I mean, that could, like you mentioned, it could be a Hall of Honor dead, as we have those early Seekers. But we also have, well, we have Emerald as well. Emerald's logical. Maybe it's over near Forgotten Bridge. But yeah, I'd say you should really dive Torvus and check that bomb hint, because prime bombs is the only thing stopping Ivy right now. So we have an interesting route difference here. Callum's still going for Dark Aegon. Arrow is dipped out of Dark Aegon and is following up on the Hive Chamber loop. So it's interesting to see. Maybe Dark Missile Trooper and Hive Chamber B will have something we need. Meanwhile, Steve has just entered Burn Dome. They're going to find that wave beam, and they're not going to be too happy because they're not going to be able to leave with wave beam. So now we've hit an interesting situation where both prime runners are going to be simultaneously BK'd in the same room, unable to move because of the same item, while Echoes is following two separate paths, and it's a matter of which path is going to find prime their bombs first. Now, once again, we do have that hint for prime bombs near a boost spinner. Do we know where that is? No, we don't know. But we have a good hint telling us it's probably going to be Torvus. Because it looks like Arrows decided to dip right into Hive Chamber Hall of Honor dead because of these beams and these early Seekers that we have. Now, unfortunately, looks like Hall of Honor dead is not the correct answer. So, well, that's a great question, chat. Why is Callum shooting midair in front of the statue in Judgment Pit? Well, you know what? I'll tell you. By the way, here's prime power bombs. Thanks, but that's not the bombs that we need. We need regular bombs, not power bombs. Out of cycle on that one. So, as we have a bit of time here, while Arrow goes, I would assume Arrow's going to dip right into Torvus, if I had to guess. Because Arrow's going right back to Hall of Honor dead to use Space Jump to go for an instant morph into the tunnel. Oh, almost had a first try. And it's probably going to use that to dip into Torvus. Callum looks like he's probably going to do the same thing. Hall of Honor dead because he has access to it. And then dipping into Torvus, hopefully. But Hive Chamber loop, it will be first on Callum's mind, as that's a great loop to get done now. That way you don't have to worry about coming back. But to answer your question, Kalo, so in Judgment Pit, that's where you fight Jump Guardian to get your Space Jump boots for Echoes. Now, as soon as you enter Judgment Pit, the Jump Guardian is immediately spawned in. So their hitbox for Jump Guardian is always going to be spawned in front of that statue. And we have a hint for a beam near a half pipe. We'll hold on to that later. So because Jump Guardian's hitbox is in front of that statue, as long as you can reach that hitbox, you can practically damage Jump Guardian down to 1 hit point. Start the fight, which the fight only starts once you enter the safe zone in the center of Judgment Pit. Jump Guardian starts with only like 1 health. You shoot Jump Guardian a handful of times, and Jump Guardian's done. You completely skip the entire fight of Jump Guardian by abusing that hitbox. Now, fun fact, you can't kill Jump Guardian in that state. The game is programmed in a way where you cannot drop Jump Guardian below 1 health if he has not properly started the fight. That is a great safety feature that the developers thought of. So we're very thankful they did that. Otherwise, you'd completely delete the item on Judgment Pit. Now, let's get back to our race. Prime is still BK'd. We have no bombs. Now, you might be wondering, well, why isn't Prime just resetting and doing something else? Well, Prime doesn't have much, if anything, they can do. They have Space Jump. They could go fight Flogra if they wanted to. But that Wave Beam is just too good not to pass up. Because when are you going to come back to Zoid when you get moving on? There's not much you can do in Chosen Ruins anyway without the lack of bombs. So until we get bombs, Prime really doesn't have many options. Echoes, meanwhile, they do have a good amount they can do. Again, we could dive into Torvus Bog. We can check Torvus Lagoon, Forgotten Bridge. We can check everywhere for that movement system and for those prime bombs. By the way, there's X-Ray. We're wondering where that X-Ray was all the time. Nah, you called it just in time. X-Ray on Dark Missile Trooper. So that's the first step of putting our Dark Beam into logic. To put Light Beam into logic, to put everything else into logic. I think I'm saying logic a bit too many times here. Jeff, I hope you're keeping track of everything, my friend, because we have a lot going on. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for just going nonstop, but that's how this race has been going. Yes, yes, Jeff, I have that tracking document you sent. I just had no time to use it. Also, good news for Team Bombs on Thardus. They've just entered Torvus Lagoon. Will this be Screw Attack? No, that's Grapple Beam. That's the movement system that was hinted. Okay, Team Bombs on Thardus is now back in logic. We have X-Ray and we have that Grapple Beam. That puts Dark Beam into logic, letting Arrow continue through Path of Roots here. We get a free Emerald Translator hint. And this, in turn, will hopefully lead right into Prime Bombs. Keys to Dark Torvus Temple, Phazon, Phendrana, and Sanctuary. Yeah, that's not a great location. We don't want any keys in Phazon mines. And logically, you see Nye in chat telling us we need supers for Prime Grapple. The logical way to get into Torvus is by using... Actually, wait a minute. Why do we need supers for Prime Grapple? Because we can enter Torvus without super missiles vanilla. We don't need supers to go through the entrance to Lagoon. And it's interesting here, Callum has just entered Aegon Wastes. Now you might be wondering, well, why are we in Aegon? Doesn't Torvus have all our movement? You're absolutely right. Callum's playing the smart path and taking a second elevator. Aegon is just a detour route. We're using this half-pipe and transit station to go right to this elevator here to Underground Tunnel. By the way, we mentioned Screw Attack. There's Screw Attack. Looks like Screw Attack was on Great Bridge. So Echo, Screw Attack, Great Bridge, Jeff. That's an important one to have. Ivy is looks like a little bit frustrated, still not being able to move. Steve also unable to move. Prime Bombs is near a boost spinner. We don't have many options left. There they are. We called it. Forgotten Bridge. Forgotten Bridge is Prime Bombs. Arrow's the first one to find it. That means Steve is on the pathway to success. Now, Callum is not too far behind in finding those Prime Bombs. He's just entered a Torvus Temple from the lower levels. This is going to let him get to Underground Tunnel. And Underground Tunnel, with his current equipment, is going to let him right into Forgotten Bridge. And in the famous words of Captain MD, there's always progression in Underground Tunnel. Congratulations. There's Echo Supers for Callum. So Echo Supers, Underground Tunnel. That's going to be great. Callum's realizing, wait a minute, I have power bombs. I can get this check here in Torvus Grove. Will Torvus Grove have anything of use to us today? It will have an ETM. Congratulations, you found your team's namesake. And Callum's going to take a quick space jump to check... He's trying to check Meditation Vista. I didn't see it personally, but hopefully they did. Unfortunately, without Screw Attack, we're not going to be able to get that item. Steve thankfully is on the move again because of those bombs. We got a lot of ground to make up here in Chozo Ruins. But that Weave Beam is going to be good for some extra damage output, and will lead us right into Phendrana later on. And there's Dark Suit. Okay, we have Dark Suit. Portal Chamber Light. Alright, so that's our first progressive suit for Echoes. Portal Chamber Light. Not a bad spot at all to find a Dark Suit. So, great play by Arrow, going for Dark Torvus Bog. We are really finding a lot that we can do. As we only have... we got 5 E-Tanks. We're okay. It's not great, but... That's certainly better than most. Now, Callum sees those Prime Bombs. Is he going for a scan dash? Nope, he's going to do it the vanilla way by putting a bomb in the bomb slot to change the bridge layout. That way, we just walk across the bridge. Also, since it's being mentioned in chat, today's race host is Baja Blood. So say hello to Baja over in the chat. They're the ones who created this race for our teams today. So, unfortunately, let's take a quick look at our standing right now. We're almost a half hour in. Ivy is unable to move. And Cal, where are you going, Callum? Why are you moving further into Dark Torvus? You know that you saw prime bombs on Forgotten Bridge. If it was me, and I saw prime bombs there, knowing my teammate is stuck, I'd be going right for those bombs. Do everything else later. Focus on those bombs right away. So I'm not too sure why we're leaving it for last. Hopefully he just didn't see it. But we'll see. Hopefully this is just a safety warp or safety safe correction. Meanwhile, Prime Boost Ball has been found. Looks like it was in Vault. So Prime Boost in Vault, not a bad spot for it. Although that means Prime Boost Ball is locked behind Prime Bombs. That's a fun thing to be locked behind. Yeah, Boost Ball is actually extremely useful. We're going to use that especially during the Ridley fight. And that's going to skip phase 2 of Ridley. Or at least the first half of phase 2. Meanwhile, Arrow is just about done with Dark Torvus, at least for Upper Dark Torvus. We do have a few things left to clean up, but we're going to come back to it at a later time. Now, those being, we do have, why am I forgetting his name? Boost Guardian, that's the boss that I keep forgetting. I don't know how I forgot Boost Guardian. That's an infamous boss in itself. Boost Guardian, the Underground Tunnel, and the Torvus Grove Loop we're going to do in just a minute. But first things first, we want to get out of Dark Torvus and get Torvus Temple out of the way. Oh, all right. Looks like Tower Chamber has a Cobalt translator. So because we have supers, or correction, because we have Cobalt, that's going to let us get Sank Map Station and our Sanctuary hints when we eventually get to Sanctuary Fortress. Nothing we can do with Cobalt right now. Oh, and Steve is doing Tower of Light the regular way. I haven't seen this way done in a while. So the normal way to actually climb Tower of Light is to shoot those blocks, but also a good thing what Steve did. By destroying the first layer and letting the cutscene play out, it actually shows you what's on the top of Tower of Light. So that's a great way to save you from climbing the entire tower if you're not comfortable with it. But because it is a Sky Temple key, Steve either A, has to do the climb now, or B, Steve is going to have to come back at a later time. Hopefully, Steve's familiar with the climb to do it now, because we really don't want to route Tower of Light in late game. This could be a bit of a time hassle if we have to route it in later. And Steve is climbing this beautifully. Meanwhile, for Callum, they're at Forgotten Bridge. Please go get those bombs. Forget the pirates. Get the bombs. Please, Callum, get the bombs to get your teammate moving. There we go. We're good. All right, Ivy is finally moving. Great news for Team ETMs. All right, they are a bit behind, though. They're a good few minutes behind. But this is still anybody's race. We have a whole lot of game left for both runners. No, I do agree. It's possible Callum just didn't see it. The Prime Bomb icon is tiny compared to a lot of the other item models. So I don't blame Callum for not getting them immediately. It's just not very nice where that location was. But I do agree, Arrow needs to get to Underground Tunnel to get those super missiles. Supers is locking Arrow from accessing lower Torvis, and because we have gravity boost, it's a great play to do right now. But great news for Callum, they just found Screw Attack courtesy of Great Bridge here. Meanwhile, back on the Prime side, Eve is climbing this wonderful tree. This is a beautiful tree. Yeah, we can just get to see it in the center of the room. You know, you don't get to experience the full atmosphere of these games when you're racing. But when you're sitting back watching it at home, you can see how beautiful the game is and admire all the time the developers put into it. So I'm a little concerned why Arrow's... Oh, I know exactly what Arrow's doing. We're going for Sky Temple key hints. This is a great play. Get your knowledge now while you can. This is a great choice. And so instead of going to Lower Torvis, as soon as we enter Lower Torvis, we're really focused on entering Sanctuary Fortress. Because there's a great elevate... Oh, what happened to Arrow? Why are we going back to menu? I thought we were good to go. I'm honestly not sure what happened. Oh, that's right. He hit a super door. He can't get out without hitting a super. You're absolutely... Well, wait a minute. We have Light Beam, and we have Power Bombs. We could have gone through Wind Chamber Gateway. Although, granted, that was going to take us all the way back to Compound, and that's a bit of a long journey. Yeah, I understand why we took the save warp. Super lock. Oh, that's the dangers of entering Torvis without supers. Now, Arrow's gonna laugh. They're taking a save warp. They don't realize how close they are to those supers. Now, the unfortunate thing is, we don't have any hints. Arrow has no knowledge that supers are in Underground Tunnel. So, taking the save warp now to go get your key hints, totally respectable play. If you can get the information, we always like to say information is key, especially with Prime and Echoes, with how large the game they are. And when you have a lot open to you later on, when you have so many upgrades, it can be really difficult to pinpoint, okay, which area should I focus on? Which region is the game trying to point me in the most? It's difficult. But once you have that knowledge, then you can really focus, okay, I know where my keys are. I know where my end game goal is. Now I can route my way around it. Speaking of which, Steve has just defeated Flagra, everybody's favorite plant boss. And Flagra had nothing but light ammo. And I'm fairly certain Ivy just did a... Did we just warp to the top of this room from a half pipe? Well, we had to have done something to warp. I'm not entirely positive what it was. It's the first time I've ever seen that warp. But that was good. That saved us from using the half pipe because we don't have boost ball. Well, that allows us to check antechamber, see where vanilla ice beam is. Granted, no ice beam there this time, and that's okay. But moving on, Arrow has decided to take a save warp back to Temple Grounds, and we're checking Plate of Dark Worship. Meanwhile, Steve has gone for a trick known as Early Wild. Now, because we have Spider Ball, it's not really a trick. It's more or less just a time save. But if we didn't have Spider Ball with Steve, there's a trick we can do where we can get the Morph Ball stuck on the spider track, slowing our descent, and allowing us to stagger bomb placements to actually bomb jump our way into reaching a Sun Chamber again, but this time with the Chozo Ghost fight. And chat's correcting me, this is not Plane of Dark Worship, this is Phazon Grounds. I make that mistake almost every time, and I don't think I'll ever stop making that mistake, because I'm sorry, all of Sky Temple Grounds looks the same. I will stand by that. Oh, and that's funny. You got a Wave Buster on the Chozo Ghost fight for early wild. Congratulations. I can't harm the wave, but oh my. Ha! So remember how I was mentioning we could have a suit in the GFMC crate item and duplicate it? Well, I was right. We do have a suit in the crate item, and Arrow just duplicated it, getting light suit twice. So that's what I was talking about earlier in the race about the duplication. You can get the crate item by skipping the GFMC cutscene, get the item, start the cutscene, and then get the item again. So if that was Arrow's first suit, that would have been an immediate light suit for them. Oh, and that's nice. We have a Sky Temple key and Wind Chamber Gateway. The Wind Chamber Gateway Sky Temple key. That's going to be fun. So, can we get that right now? Logically, yes. But we're not doing the logical way of this. We're not doing this properly. But that's good, because the normal puzzle for this can be a bit of a headache. It's not a good puzzle. No one ever likes to do it. Arrow's going for a bit of a risky strat here. It gets the first try, thankfully. So what we did here is we did a slope jump off of a piece of raised collision. And did I call Grand Wind Chamber Gateway again? I do that so many times. Thank you, the Grand Chamber Wind Walkway. That's what this room is. I can't get through one trick because Ivy just done Ice Beam. That's actually huge by Callum. Ice Beam being on Dark Torvus Arena. Now Ice Beam is going to let them get further into Chozo Ruins. That lets them get to far Chozo. While Callum tries to fight Boost Guardian. Almost had it with the first Power Bomb. But unfortunately just missed it. Just missed the quick kill with the Power Bomb. Had to wait a little bit. It's not terrible. Not terrible at all. We'll get the keys to Hive Temple. Well, that's okay. Nothing too worried about. And FTA only has missile expansion. What is on the top of Upper Furnace? That's something shiny. We might want that. Upper Furnace definitely had something interesting on top of there. Ooh, Echo's Grapple. All right, it was interesting, but it's something completely useless. We don't need Echo's Grapple because we have Screw Attack already. It is difficult watching 4 screens at once. So much goes on, and there's no time to take a breather. But I enjoy it all the same. I'm happy to be here. I hope everyone watching at home is having a great time. I know we are here in the booth, Jeff and I. Oh, we have a Morphball-related upgrade in Ing Reliquary. Well, that's nothing useful. Potentially, oh, hold on. Gravity Suit. Hold the fort. Gravity Suit has been found. Prime finally has something. Yay, wave a flag for Prime. We found a suit. Unfortunately, it's not a suit that we can use right now. So, Gravity Suit Communication Area. Arrow, meanwhile, is checking Dynamo Works, or correction, Dynamo Chamber. Dynamo Works is the Sanctuary one. Dynamo Chamber only have an expansion, nothing bad. We'll definitely take more ammo. While Callum is going to Torvus Temple, this will be good news for Callum. This will let them open up Lower Torvus. And by the way, Dark Visor was on Temple Assembly Site. I see Chad asking about it. Dark Visor, Temple Assembly Site. Thank you, Jeff. And it appears we missed where Thermal Visor was, as Steve has Thermal. Not too sure where that was either. Temple Transport C. Oh, okay. Transport A. Understood. All right, so it's in Great Temple. Oh, that's not a bad spot. Now we're checking Antechamber. Antechamber has Sonic Boom. We're not going to worry about Sonic Boom. We're not worried about the charge combos. But we are worried about Cal's movement system near a kinetic orb cannon. Now that very well could have been the screw attack off of Great Bridge. All right, yeah, that's confirmation then. That was a screw attack in. Now Steve is looking at that Sonic Boom. That's a very pretty looking Sonic Boom. Now that is an interesting play there. Huh. Well, looks like we got in and out of our antechamber without having Ice Beam. I guess Arrow should use that Sonic Boom now because he went through a lot of work to get it. So what I imagine happened, correct me if I'm wrong, what we did here, we used a power bomb to keep that door open. And because the power bomb registered the door actually being activated, we could just walk right out. Power bomb lockpick. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, and we've just hit the 45-minute mark into our race. We still have a lot more left to go, everyone. Oh, we have a double X-ray moment here. Alrighty, we got another translator hint telling us Path of Eyes, keys to Dark Aegon Temple. Nothing we're going to worry about. But Steve's gone out of bounds. Well, this is a great out of bounds to learn, especially for newcomers and anyone who wants to get into Randovania. I highly recommend learning this out of bounds for Arbor Chamber. This completely skips the need to come back here with Plasma Beam. Not a bad trick to learn. Other than that, looks like Steve is just going to enter Magmore Caverns for the first time. Now, keep in mind, we don't have Various Suit, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nye, Gravity Suit doesn't allow heat protection. It's only Varia that has that function. So we are going to take regular heat damage. Yeah, we are. We can see it clearly on Steve, just taking all that massive damage. Well, we're going to cut through Magmore anyway. We got 4 E-Tanks. We should have plenty of time. And going back to the Echo side, chat, you're absolutely right. Callum is making a smart play. He's going for the knowledge play. We have Seekers. We have Super Missiles. We're going right for Sky Temple Keys. Speaking of Sky Temple Keys, Arrow is going right for it as well. Arrow's going right for Super Missiles here in Underground Tunnel. That's going to be smart, because once they get supers, that immediately opens up Sky Temple Gateway to get our key hints. So both Echoes players will be in great positions knowledge-wise. And Progressive Suit near a portal. Arrow doesn't need to worry about that. We have Light Suit. Alright, everybody, get your keyboards, your pens, and your paper ready. Your Sky Temple key hints for today are... Ice Ruins West. Frost Cave. Alright, so double Phendrana. Fungal Hall B over in Phazon Mines. Security Cave, so another Phendrana play. Triclops Pit in Magmar. Life Grove in Talon Overworld. Grand Wind Chamber here in the Temple Grounds. Main Reactor for Aegon Wastes. That's by Dark Samus 1. So Sky Temple keys aren't terrible. It's just a lot of them are in Prime's world. So let me try that sentence again. We do know that we need Plasma Beam to get Ice Ruins West. Now, as far as echoes go, there's nothing really hard locking us. Yes, if we check artifacts, you have Life Grove, Fiery Shores, War Ritual Grounds, Lava Lake. Profane Path, Cargo Freight Lift to Deck Gamma. Oh, and we have a Thardus fight. Hold on, we gotta get that battle music playing. There we go. So, chat, you're absolutely right. Once again, chat, you are on point today. The only thing Echoes needs is, coincidentally, the Echo Visor. As soon as our Echoes players find that Echo Visor, they're effectively in go mode because they have Annihilator Beam for Profane Path. As if I'm correct, Profane Path is an Annihilator Echo lock. So once they open that, all they need to do is find the rest of the stuff in their world, find the Phazon suit, find the Plasma Beam, and get the artifact. So yeah, Echoes is in a great spot right now for both teams. Well, at least for Callum, because Callum's got the STK information. Arrow has not gone back for the Sky Temple Gateway yet. That is going to be soon on their list after they're done here in Torvus. Because I suspect Arrow's going to take the Torvus Lagoon entrance, use that to go to the west side on Temple Grounds, and use that to go right for Sky Temple Gateway. Back on the ETM side, Ivy is using their power bombs to go right through this brick wall. Who knew high yield power bombs destroy century-old brick? But this should get us right in. I want to say this is Life Grove, but that doesn't sound right. Life Grove Tunnel. All right. Oh, it is Life Grove. Hey, I'm learning. We're learning together. Oh, and nice timing by Arrow finding that plasma. I wish. No, that's an ice beam that we found. And speaking of beams, we're going to use this dark beam here in Temple Assembly site. This is going to get us right to Plane of Dark Worship and a Cursed Lake. So Ivy's still going to leave Life Grove. We have both items here. We're good to head out. And we're going to keep on moving. Meanwhile, Arrow is trying to fight Boost Guardian. Oh, that's bad news for Arrow. We don't have a power bomb. And because Arrow does not have a power bomb, they messed up the drop. Or not the drop, but they missed the quick kill. We gotta fight this boss normally for a bit. Now, we did get another power bomb drop, so we do have another try at it. Oh, he's got it, hands down. Down goes the Boost Guardian. Oh, he used to, well, Boost Guardian wasn't in a puddle. Yeah, that's risky to do. So what happens with Boost Guardian if you use a power bomb? Boost Guardian likes to reel itself back and go into its puddle form. Now, unfortunately, during that, there are a few frames of invincibility that Boost Guardian has, and that just wastes the frames of the power bomb. But if you drop the power bomb while Boost Guardian is in a puddle, that allows you to get the maximum possible damage out, and in turn, wipe the floor with Boost Guardian. Oh, and Steve tried to get a super missile off on Thardus. Unfortunately, Rocky blocked it. And if you're playing rock, paper, scissors, please note that rock beats super missiles. Keep that in mind. But we did that all for a Dark Aegon key. We don't need that key. But if Main Plaza has anything. Oh, and there's Callum finding their light suit on GFMC compound. Great find. And the top of ship has a dark burst. Yeah, dark burst is useful, just not today. Interesting route difference here. Steve's going right through Phendrana Drifts, courtesy of that wave beam that they have, and the ice beam to keep on going further. While Ivy has decided to jump right into Crash Frigate. I believe they're going right for cargo freight lift to deck Gamma. This will get us another artifact. And because Ivy has gravity boost, wave beam, thermal, and space jump, they have everything they need to complete Crash Frigate. Now there is another item check down here, outside of the cargo freight lift. Will Ivy go for it? It's unknown. And chat is pointing out that yes, there is an Echo's Morph Ball related upgrade in Ing Reliquary. There's only one Echo's Morph Ball related upgrade we've yet to find, and that's Spider Ball. And the funny thing is, Ing Reliquary can totally have Spider Ball. You don't need Spider Ball to access Ing Reliquary at all. So it is entirely logically possible that Spider is on Reliquary, and it's gonna be funny if it is. But speaking of Crash Frigate, again, there's only one check left here. Ivy's just got to go get it. But there is an elevator at the end of it to take us right to Chozo, right to the far side of Talon 4. And you're absolutely right, Nye. Callum is going right for Ing Reliquary. We have Light Suit. We have Light Beam. We have everything we need for this check. And thank you, Jeff. It's going right for Phazon Mines, not Talon 4. Oh, and hello. That's a Powerbomb expansion on Ing Reliquary. Well, looks like we were incorrect. It's just a cheeseburger. Now, if anyone ordered a cheeseburger, please note that your order is probably cold by now. So next time you should have gotten that on time. And chat's already throwing out ways to curse Spider Ball. All right, I'm not going to stop it. But I do want to take this time to actually think about the music here. We got this nice little upbeat tune here from Steve, courtesy of Lower Phendrana. And there's this guy Temple Key, courtesy of Phendrana. We do have a few more keys to go get. Unfortunately, because we don't have plasma, we know for a fact Ice Ruins West is going to be locked. Nothing we can do about that quite yet. But good news by Callum, because we have Dark Visor and Seekers, we can open up a return path here straight to GFMC compound. This saves a little bit of time when we want to get here, as we can just take Great Temple's elevator right to the sanctuary side. Oh, and there's War Ritual Grounds for another artifact. And Calum's going to find that Sky Temple key here on Wind Chamber Gate, Grand Wind Chamber. You know, Grand Wind Walk Chamber Hallway Chasm Key Holder Chamber Place. Yep, that's the new name. Don't ask me to say it again. But good news for Team Bombs on Thardus. We're gonna go find our Sky Temple key. All right, so Arrow and Steve are gonna realize that, hey, Phendrana's got a little bit more to that we need to take care of. But unfortunately, no plasma beam yet. And breaking news, I haven't seen this done in a long time. We're actually doing the vanilla puzzle for Grand Wind Chamber down on the bottom right with Callum. Now, I mentioned that this can be a bit tiresome. That's because you've got 2 secret locks minimum, and you've got 3 boost spinners that you've all got to align. So it takes a good few minutes to do this puzzle. I feel bad for Callum because this is just a time waster of a puzzle, but it's needed to get the Sky Temple key. And yet, chat's pointing out, yeah, you can skip Grand Wind Chamber. There are a few ways you can do this. My personal favorite is the screw attack method we saw Arrow do. By doing a slope jump off of a piece of raised collision, that gives us just enough height to land on the upper frame of the glass hallway entering Grand Wind Chamber. And because that little arch has a piece of standable collision. By the way, Phazon suit. Nice find by Steve. You have Phazon suit in Phendrana Labs. MQA. Oh, chats want plasma for in MQA. Well, MQA is not the worst spot you could have picked. But hey, have a flamethrower on Philip. Now, Philip's the name we get to that elite pirate. All right, everyone. We've been sitting here for an hour. We've had a lot of good times. Now it's time for the 1 hour rundown. So let's get right down to it, shall we, Jeff? So, the 1 hour rundown. What do we got? We have Bombs on Thardus versus Team ETMs. In the red corner with Bombs on Thardus. 1 artifact to 4 Sky Temple keys. Steve on the Prime side has all their upgrades, except for Plasma Beam and Various Suit. Is Various Suit needed? Honestly, at this point, no. We have enough energy to make it through Magmor without it. Although it would be nice to have. We just have no clue where it is. So Steve has everything they need for go mode outside of Plasma Beam. Without Plasma Beam, we cannot beat Metroid Prime Exoskeleton. And I'm fairly certain we have a key. Yeah, we have a key locked behind Ice Ruins West. We really need that Plasma Beam. As in the blue corner with Team ETMs, Ivy's got 2 artifacts, with Callum having a total of 3 keys. Now Ivy's in a bit of a better position, I'd say. Now Ivy's done a little bit more outside of that time lost early on in Chozo, waiting for bombs. But Ivy is moving through Phazon Mines. Now the downside to Ivy's route is that we're gonna hold off on Phazon Mines. Now excuse me, we're in Phazon Mines. Why are we holding off Phazon Mines if we're already in it? Let me correct that. not Phazon. We're holding off on Phendrana drifts. Now, Phendrana is a big place to try to cover. But the good thing is, if Plasma Beam, for whatever reason, is down here in Phazon Mines, that's going to turn into a huge time save for Ivy, as they don't have to try to route in Ice Ruins West later on today. As far as the Echo side, if we look over on Arrow with bombs on Thardus, they've just entered Aegon Wastes again. We have all of Aegon Labs, and we have Sanctuary Fortress to go through. We've got 4 keys. Are we missing any majors? Yes, we need Echo Spider Ball. Echo Spider Ball could be anywhere. We got a whole lot of checks left to find it. So, other than that, Arrow's in a good position, though, because we got a whole lot of new checks we can do, and Sanctuary. Speaking of Sanctuary, finally, with Callum on Team ETMs, 3 Sky Temple keys. Callum is also missing that Spider Ball. We have no clue where it is, but we have all beams, similar to Arrow. Now, what's interesting, though, is Callum has entered Sanctuary. He's gone for Sanctuary entrance. Fantastic check. As this check, if you don't do it now, you're probably not coming back for it, because you have to go through Sank entrance through the normal elevator in Temple grounds just to get this check. You cannot do it. You cannot do Sanctuary entrance backwards, as there's a wall blocking us. So what do each team? You know what? I was mentioning Plasma. There's Plasma. Steve's in great. I think Prime's pretty much in go mode for bombs on Thardus. Plasma Beam in right before main reactor. Well, I guess we really need to get moving to Aegon then. So what does each team need for proper go mode? Bombs on Thardus. Hold on. You see Dark Samus? No, you don't. That's similar to Bomb Guardian. If you have power bombs before fighting Dark Samus 1, this fight's over in a heartbeat. It's just over. Dark Samus does not do well with power bombs. You blinked. Where did Dark Samus go? Well, I'm sorry. Dark Samus had to go on vacation. But don't worry. We're going to go visit Dark Samus in Sky Temple later today. So, Steve, logical go mode. They just got to get the rest of their artifacts and Sky Temple keys in their game, and hope that Echo Spider Ball isn't in their game. But we're going to keep checking until we find it. For Ivy needs that Plasma Beam in Callum's Aegon Wastes. Unfortunately, there's no knowledge on that Plasma Beam. There's no keys. There's no hints. There's nothing telling us it's in Aegon Wastes. And what's wrong with that is that there's a lot to do in Sanctuary. So until I'm assuming Callum's going to do a good majority of Sanctuary and in turn Inghive, which is good because we have some stuff here that we need to do. We're going to go hunting for that Spider Ball. But we really need to find that Plasma Beam. And thank you, chat, for reminding. We need Varia for Triclops Pit and Fiery Shores. But Steve thankfully has Phazon. It was in their own Phendrana drifts. So Steve, Varia Suit plus Echo Spider Ball. Arrow needs Spider Ball only. Ivy needs Phazon and Varia. And Plasma. And Callum needs Spider Ball. I think it's safe to say the entire race, it comes down to the late question of where is the Echo Spider Ball? Oh, you're absolutely right. We're missing the Echo Visor. Thank you. Thank you, Toast. Forgot about that. We do need that Echo Visor for a key. Artifact. Artifacts are keys. I'm calling them that now. I'm just going to refer to artifacts and keys as just key. As technically it is a key. But Ivy is either taking a quick break or they're in BK. I hope they're not in BK. Hopefully they're just taking a short break. Because if I was Ivy, no, Ivy can't be in BK. They've got 7 energy tanks. They have boost ball. They can absolutely break through Magmor and go into Phendrana. Yeah, no, Ivy's not in BK. They're just taking a short break. There they are. Oh, let's take a look at the routing real quick while we have some time. What if we were these runners? What would we want to do? Well, if I was Steve, because I have Plasma Beam finally, I'd be doing some cleanup here in Phendrana, and I'd be using this to detour into Phazon Mines. Go through Phazon Mines, look for that various suit. Once you're done in Phazon, go for the rest of your artifacts, and do some cleanup over in Chozo Ruins. If I was Ivy, since I'm moving through a good portion of Phazon right now, I use this to detour into Phendrana after we're done in Phazon. Go through Phendrana drifts. Use that to route in labs in Farfen. That's going to find the Phazon suit. And that in turn is going to let us essentially continue the rest of our hunts for that various suit and that Echo Spider. And the Echo's Echo. Echo. Yeah, that's a fun thing to say. Over on the Echo side, if I was Callum, I'd keep on moving through Sanctuary. And I'd use Sanctuary to detour from the Spider side to Aegon Wastes. And as soon as you enter Aegon, you're going to find your Plasma Beam right there. As soon as you leave that elevator. And I'd use that to clean up Aegon Labs, clean up Aegon Dark Labs. And in turn, do some cleanup in Torvus. You're going to route in Sanctuary to Aegon to Torvus. Now with Arrow, we're already in Dark Labs. So I would use this to play right into... I'd probably play this right into a lower Torvus. Use Aegon to go to Torvus, Torvus into lower Torvus, and from lower, we dive into Sanctuary for the first time. Now, Steve is not having a good time here, but I think we're taking an intentional death warp. Yes, we are. Yeah, Steve just took an intentional death back to the save station. We peaked what we needed to in Magmor. Now we're going to keep on moving from Phendrana into, I believe, Phazon. Phazon Mines to be specific. Now, will Callum check Hive entrance? It's entirely possible, KRAR. I wouldn't put it past him. Hive entrance is not a bad check, especially because we're still looking for a good amount of stuff. And because we don't have any knowledge on where those items are, the Hive entrance could totally be the answer to our questions. But with that being said, we still got a lot of race left. It's any team's any team's race to have. Team ETMs and Team Bombs on Thardus, these two teams have fought before, and it was a close race the last time. Now, I could be wrong. I believe this is a rematch due to the last race having something happen with it. And if that's the case, it's a matter of what's going to happen. What's going to happen right now is Steve's in a bad position right now, honestly. We don't have Area Suit to make any movement in Magmor easy. Steve's running on a scarce amount of energy tanks at just 4. Now, we do have Phazon Suit, we do have Gravity, so the damage we take is lessened a little bit, but we're still taking a good amount of heat damage. So whatever Steve does, it's got to be thought out, and any wrong turn, any slowdown could lead right into a bad spot, leading to an untimely death for Steve and having to do a lot of things over. Yep, and Arrows appears to be in Battleground. Yeah, we're in Battleground. We're cleaning up the little Ing fight here. This is going to let us get the Ing cache at the top of this room. And the only reason we're doing this fight, Battleground has to have something. There's no other reason why we'd start this fight. An energy tank, yes, that is huge for Steve right now. Get the energy refill and keep moving. Now that explains why Steve was waiting around. Back on Callum's side, they've just entered Aegon Labs. Now, what I tell you, you sanctuary to get to Aegon, you find that plasma beam. Now, Ivy's got plasma and can do a lot of stuff in Phendrana. You can basically clean up all the Phendrana drifts in one go. That's great for Ivy. So we got 2 bosses going on. Callum's fighting Dark Samus 1. And again, if you missed it, sorry, there's Dark Samus 1, and she's gone. Power bombs are a huge weapon. She just takes, I want to say, base damage from power bombs. As you're not supposed to have power bombs this early, so why have inherent protection? Also, that's funny. Your ice spreader is where plasma beam normally is. As for the second boss, blink and you miss it again, ×2. Jump Guardian. Air was not a fan of architecture and was shooting a statue, but in front of that statue you have Jump Guardian's hitbox, and you start the fight, Jump Guardian's at 1 health point, fight's over. Chat's asking about Flagra, the plant. Flagra had absolutely nothing. We had nothing on top of nothing. But yes, both people have fought plant. And that's a not very nice thing Arrow just did. Arrow just destroyed a Lightbringer willingly on the bridge. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put a fake penalty on the Arrow. You do not destroy the Lightbringer. Lightbringers are our friends. They're here just trying to give us protection through this harsh environment, and you went out of your way to destroy it. Oh, okay, new development has been found. Callum just scanned Dark Oasis's Luminoth hint, and it told us a life support system is in Dark Oasis. That very well could be the Various suit. We're not too sure which game that hint was for, though, to be honest. So that's a great mention by chat. It could have been, it absolutely very well could have been for Echo's life support. And if it is Echo's life support, we don't need it. Although, say hello to another boss fight, we're fighting Wormy. Now, I'm not too positive why we're fighting a Morbus. There's only one reason, and the only reason I can see us fighting a Morbus is that we need something for Main Plaza. As I believe Arrow did get the hint, telling us that a Morbus itself has no progression on it. But side note, unlimited missiles from Callum over in Storage B is definite progression. We are so going to use those unlimited missiles. Oop, and Arrow's trying to go for a skip here. Nope, Arrow's a little bit... No, not enough time for Arrow to get worm skip. They were so close, but that little hesitation on the first worm really set it. So what Arrow was trying to do is a trick that we call worm skip. During the Amorbus fight, during phase 2, you have 2 worms spawn. Now, the gimmick with Amorbus is that every phase you add another worm. With phase 2, there's only 2 worms. So you would damage both the worms into its ability to take actual damage phase. Destroy the armor, it tries to suck you up in a boost ball. Or in a morph ball, correction. If you morph ball damage both worms at relatively the same time, or before the first worm is able to finish its cycle, it completely skips the cutscene for the third worm ever spawning. This saves a bit of time, and gives a nice little cutscene skip. Cutscene skip's not really the word to use for it, but skipping the third worm's nice. Fun fact: if you do worm skip on the third phase, you soft lock in the temple. You delete the last worm, but because you deleted it, the cutscene can't play properly, and you're essentially stuck here with the item deleted. And since Arrow's making a big show of getting the energy here, Main Plaza has to have something important. There's no other reason why we'd be returning the energy. Now this puts the question: what's on Main Plaza? You know, I wouldn't mind having no, it can't be Echo. Echo can't lock. Not in this one. Echo can't lock itself. Oh, and Brawler's making a good point in chat. We don't have Echo Visor to even get Main Plaza. We have Annihilator Beam, but without Echo, we can't actually activate these locks. So this must be a pivot point for something later. So Arrow's going to return the energy now. Keep going through Aegon until they're done. Actually, no, I think they are done. I think Amorbus is the last thing they had on the list. So yeah, return the energy. Go through Torvus. Go through Torvus until you find either A, your Echo Visor, or B, your Spider Ball. And if you do find Echo, come back to Main Plaza, because obviously it's got something useful. Now, good news from Ivy. They've just entered phase at Fendrana Drifts. They've got their Phazon suit courtesy of Fen Labs. Now they're going to keep on moving. That Phazon suit's going to do Ivy some great damage reduction. Well, another artifact ascent courtesy of Callum. Well, we're just shy of our hour and a half mark. Both teams still neck and neck. They are in great positions right now. Steve at 6 artifacts. We're still missing Varia. Arrow, 7 keys. we're still missing Echo and Spider. Ivy, 3 artifacts, missing Varia. And Callum, 6 keys, missing Spider and Echo. So the biggest play for this entire race is going to come down to 3 items. For Prime, it's going to be whoever can find that Varia suit first. For Echoes, it's going to be who can get their Echo visor and their Spider ball the fastest. Whichever Echo's team gets Echo and Spider first, that's going to be a huge advantage to them. Now you might be wondering, why do we need Echo and Spider? Well, we need the Echo visor for a Sky Temple key over in Profane Path. And we need Spider Ball to actually do the endgame boss. We need Spider Ball for Emperor Ring 2. Now, I'm saying in quotation marks, can you do Emperor Ring 2 without Spider Ball? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. We don't want to do Emperor Ring 2 without Spider unless we absolutely positively have to, and we're comfortable with doing it, because that is a ridiculous trick trying to do. As essentially you're trying to bomb jump up onto Emperor Ring 2, lay a power bomb, and keep on moving. The problem with that is during the entire Emperor Ring 2 fight, poison gas fills the room, and that gas rises. So, because you're on ground level, it's going to start at the ground, and you're just going to have fun with the damage. But I do like what Arrow's doing here, going through Lower Torvus to go right into Sanctuary. It's a great choice. Plus, you get the remainder of your Emerald hints. And we get an Emerald hint that a morph upgrade is near a translator gate. We don't have I don't think we have any translator gates left. Wait, we do have Sank Map Station. And Sank Map Station essentially could be where that upgrade is. Oh, we've already checked Sank Map Station. All right. I retract my statement, as Sank Map has already been checked. That would have been a bad spot if it was accurate. Oh, yeah. No, could it be Spider Guardian? No, because it has to count the actual room. It can't be Spider Guardian. At least the hint's not telling us it's Spider Guardian. It could very well be a vanilla Spider Guardian. Huh. Arrow's HUD system is in dungeon. All right, congratulations, game. That's a great hint. We know where Echo Visor is. Echo Visor is in dungeon. That's go mode for Arrow. As what I think happened here is that dungeon is going to have Echo, and that's going to lead to Echo Spider Ball on Main Plaza. Now, if we're correct in thinking that Spider Ball is on Main Plaza, then Arrow's all set. Now, what I think is going to happen, and I'm going to be happy if it is, Arrow's going to get the Echo off a dungeon. They're going to turn around, go all the way back to Mining Plaza, or Main Plaza. They're going to check that, and if that is Spider Ball, they're going for Profane Path. They're getting their last, they're going to get that artifact that Steve needs. Arrow's going to go clear their game, and that's that. Do you need Various Suit? No, it's not required, because I think Steve just did Triclops Pit without Varia. It was risky, but we could be safe in saying that Varia just isn't required practically. Now, logically, yes, we absolutely need it. But so far, both runners have been doing fine without it. We spent very little time in Magmore as it is. I'm being told we need fiery shores still. All right, so we do still have a heated area that we need to get taken care of. But I will say it's been a fantastic race ever since the start. You know, both teams were just neck and neck, head to head from the start. There were some route differences, but nothing major. And I think both teams played absolutely superb. You know, both teams are still relatively close together in major items and artifacts. And real quick, it looks like our tracker, Jeff Vader's got to head off. So many thanks to you, Jeff, for keeping track for this race today. We greatly appreciate your help. Now you take care. Have a great rest of the day. But we're going to keep this race going. We're not going to stop this race. Oh, and there's that morph ball system near a translator gate. That's nice to see. And you want to know the good thing about this? Callum is also in Lower Torvus. He's not too far behind Arrow. And Arrow's doing exactly what we thought would happen. And Arrow's gone straight back to Aegon Waste. Now, here's the thing. We do have to take a little bit of a detour by Arrow, as Arrow never returned the Aegon energy. So we've got to go all the way to Aegon energy, put the energy in its controller, then the Echo Lock will spawn in Main Plaza. Callum is still moving through. Looks like we're going through Transport South. This will lead us right into Gathering Hall and hopefully towards Dungeon. Callum does have a light suit, so they absolutely can get Dungeon when they come across it. And they're in the room that they need for it. Scan the hidden catacombs. This tells us there's a HUD system here. Turn around. Go get that Echo Visor, my friend. And funny little hint telling us Tumos has a energy transfer module. Yeah, we're not going to fight. We're not going to go through the entire process of getting Tumos open just for an ETM. Not happening. Sorry. And we do have another Thardus fight. Looks like Ivy's fighting the rock monster. Now, unfortunately, Ivy's audio is not usable. So we're not able to hear Rocky's battle theme for a second time. I'm sorry. But we do get to see what's here in Mining yeah, that's Spider Ball, all right. Yeah, we called it. Arrows in go mode. All you gotta do is get the rest of the artifacts and keys in their game, and they're done. That's a bad spot for Echo Spider Ball, though. because that requires you fighting a Morbus. Well, no, I can't say requires, as you can skip it, but skipping the Morbus fight is harder than just doing the actual fight. So, fight a Morbus, return the Aegon energy, find Annihilator, find Echo, find Space Jump and Screw Attack, and then you get your Spider Ball. Good job, Baja. You had a interesting play here. And because of that, now Steve's now a bit of a weird thing. Once again, we're going to touch on it for one last time. We have one thing over in Fiery Shores that needs Varia Suit. Do we have the energy to bypass that Varia requirement? Yes, but it's tricky. Mainly because, again, we're taking all that heat damage. And we just got to be fast. So, hour and a half in, nice job with Ivy. Has a pretty quick kill on Thardus. Not terrible at all. So, hour and a half in, what do we got for each team? Bombs on Thardus. Arrow Razor is in go mode. They just gotta get the rest of the keys and artifacts in their game. Steve is in go mode minus that Various suit. They can skip the Various suit. It's just gonna be a bit rough. So I'm gonna say yes. Bombs on Thardus is effectively in go mode. And for anyone wondering, go mode is the term that we use to say that that team or that person has everything they need to go beat their game. Over on Team ETMs, Ivy is missing go mode. We're still missing that Various suit. Now Ivy has a good amount more health than Steve. So can they skip it? I'm going to say yes. They can skip that Various suit requirement if they're familiar with moving fast through Fiery Shores. As for Callum just found that Echo Visor. Hopefully Callum remembers what Mining Plaza has. They did a good peek of it. And that tells him, okay, I have Echo Visor. Now what's next on my list? Well, here's the problem with Callum. We don't have the last Aegon key that we need. We're still missing one Dark Aegon key. And that opens up a Morbus to get our Spider Ball. Wow, that's a spot for Various Suit, I'll say. Yeah, you don't see that often. Various Suit on Alpha Blog. So, congratulations, Ivy. You've got heat protection. You don't need to worry about Fiery Shores. Ivy is confirmed go mode. It's just that Varia on Alpha Blog of all places. Although that was a pretty quick kill on Alpha Blog, courtesy of Dark Burst and double damage. So why fight the boss normally when you have a supercharged black hole? So remember that for your rock, paper, scissors game as well. Rock beats Super Missile, but black hole beats fish. Now, maybe I can figure out where that last Aegon key is that Callum needs. But I will say that Brawler is making a great point in chat, and it's also not a good point because, quote, does Callum think that ball is Cannonball? I can't say whether Callum believes that it's Cannonball or or its spider ball. As no, I think we actually saw where Cannonball was. If I'm correct, we saw Cannonball way back at the start of this game, and that was all the way near Watery Hall. I could be wrong, but I want to say we saw Cannonball earlier today. Hey, don't blink. We have an Omega Pirate fight. Oh, this is such a great boss. You get this big hulking pirate here that you got to fight. Really put your skills to the test. And side note, good trick here by Callum to save some time and a bit of backtracking. There's a crystal on the other side of Under Transit 1 that requires Dark Beam to be activated. Fun fact with these crystals, if you use Screw Attack on the crystal, it'll activate it as well. We're not sure why Screw Attack activates that crystal. Still trying to figure that out. But because Screw Attack does it, you can Screw Attack into the crystal from behind the barrier, still hit the hitbox with Screw Attack onto that crystal, and activate it. That saves a few rooms of tracking for Callum. And you see Grapple Guardian here with Callum. We're just going to wave hello and leave. Grapple Guardian's not being a threat to us, so we're not going to bother fighting him. We're just going to head out. We're using his room as a quick passageway. Nope, I'm wrong. We are fighting Grapple Guardian. All right, and Grapple Guardian. Now, Grapple Guardian's a fairly quick fight, especially with double damage. We can do this in pretty much 3 cycles. And Callum is showing the immense power of Dark Burst. We're using Dark Burst to damage Grapple Guardian while he transitions from phase 1 into phase 2. This just saves us some time, but it's just a missile expansion on Grapple Guardian, so a little bit of time lost. Not terrible, though. You never know what a boss is going to have, especially when you don't have knowledge. Although I believe it's possible we did see the Dark Torvus key hints. Correction, the Dark Aegon key hint, telling us that a key is here in Dark Torvus, as chat is thankfully pointing out, as I can't read the tracker right now. And if that's the case, it's a matter of what part of Dark Torvus has that key that we need. But Omega Pirate's down. It was just some light ammo. Light ammo, not something we need, but we won't say no to it because we don't have unlimited. Oh, cache A. Cache A for that Dark Torvus key. That's going to be a little bit rough for Cal. I'm trying to go back for that, as that's all the way up in upper Dark Torvus. And speaking of going places, Arrow has just left Torvus Bog. They've got everything they need after grabbing their spider ball off of Main Plaza. And Arrow is going right for the end game of Sky Temple. Meanwhile, with Steve, they've got 1 artifact left to find. I believe that's fire. No, it's got to be somewhere here in Phazon. And who needs to climb this room normally when you have standable collision? Yeah, this is my favorite thing with the Prime series, is if you see something that looks like you can stand on it, you can probably absolutely stand on it. And as Delta's pointing out, we do need fiery shores. So what I think is going to happen here is Arrow's going for Gateway. Steve's going to find the fastest way back to Magmore Caverns, grab fiery shores, take a save station back to Talon 4, use that to go to Artifact Temple to fight Ridley. On Team ETM side, Callum is still hunting for that last key. Or I think Callum might be wondering where that spider ball is. It's possible Callum misread what was in what was in Main Plaza. And if Callum misread that, that's going to hurt him. Meanwhile, for Ivy, they got 5 artifacts. They still have a bit more to go find. They got fiery shores. They got a bit of cleanup in Fendrana left to do. I think Ice Ruins West might still be a thing. No, I think we got Ice Ruins West. Yeah, fiery shores we definitely need. Lava Lake is possible. And processing center access, I believe we did as well. But speaking about final bosses, why don't we go take a look at Arrow fighting the Emperor Ring? So, Emperor Ring, this is a 3-phase boss battle. Phase number 1, we're just trying to shoot the core, using Light Beam or Annihilator to destroy the tentacles. Once all are destroyed, the core opens up for a short time, allowing you to get some damage done to it. Oh, and Arrow appears to be out of light ammo. We spam fired Annihilator. Unfortunately, not all of it hit. Now, the good thing with that goes, if you do run out of ammo, a charged shot will count as one regular shot. Now Arrow's got a great super missile hit off of the first one. Can we get another one? Yeah, nice shot. All right, Emperor Ring 2. Now this is why we wanted the spider ball. Emperor Ring 2 without spider ball is just a headache. It's not something that we want to do, and if we can avoid it, we absolutely will. So Emperor Ring 2 are rolling around this chrysalis, trying to destroy all these little inglets and blow up the culverts. Once all the inglets are destroyed, the chrysalis explodes, and the true Emperor Ring comes out. So with Emperor Ring 3, now you might be wondering, well, how do we fight this huge Ing? Well, as you can see, Screw Attack deals massive damage, and never mind, the fight's over. That's the end of that explanation. No, I'm not going to cut it short there. Emperor Ring 3, there was meant to be an additional damage step during development, where that additional damage step had some sort of armor plating on the boss. Now, that armor plating could have been destroyed and damaged by Screw Attack. That damage step got removed. So for whatever reason, they scrapped that part of the boss fight. What they did not remove was the Screw Attack hitbox. Now, because the hitbox is still valid on Emperor Ring, if we activate a Screw Attack and hit that box, we deal massive damage to Emperor Ring 3. Now we're fighting Dark Samus 4. So Dark Samus is the 2-phase boss battle. The first phase, she just roams around the room until we deal enough damage to her. Once we deal roughly 300 points of damage, Dark Samus will try to fly up, shoot at us, crash down, and try to go to the center of the room. Now, once Dark Samus enters the center of the room, she won't come down, and you can't damage her unless you fire her own bolts back at her. Now, before she enters the center of the room, we can do what Arrow's doing here and do what we call a stun lock. We're manipulating Dark Samus in a way that prevents her from ever entering the center of the room. As every time she raises that phazon shield, if we fire a missile at her, that shield raises. And every time that shield goes down, there's a few frame window where we can input some damage. Now, because Arrow does not have any dark beam or light beam, there's no good damage output outside of screw attack. So Arrow had a great stun lock moving. Unfortunately, due to the lack of ammunition and the screw attack being a bit off. Now, it's not Arrow's fault the screw attack was off. It's hard to hit Dark Samus with screw attack in this phase. So now she's in the center of the room. We can't do anything except for wait for her to fire those bolts at us. Now Arrow's trying to get another stun lock on her. She came crashing down. We're trying to do some damage to her. We got a stun lock. Did we get some damage? Yeah, we did a little bit, not much, but we did some. Now she's back in the center of the room. Now we can do some true amount of damage to her. There's the phazon bolts. One more shot will end the fight. If she ever wants to stop firing at us, there we go. Oh, an arrow got hit, lost all the bolts. Now we gotta wait a little bit longer. So close. They got it? That's a single G for bombs on Thardus. Great job by Arrow. Alrighty, now it's back over to Bomb on Thardus with Steve. Yeah, Steve's on their way. They've got all 9 artifacts. They're back at landing site, gonna take a quick save to get some health and ammo. And then it's off to go fight Meta Ridley. Back on the Team ETM side, Ivy Paw sitting comfortable with 10 energy tanks. Yeah, you got enough health there, Ivy? We got 5 artifacts to Callum's 8. Now, Callum is still hunting for that spider ball. Again, it could be anywhere. There's no hints or knowledge pointing us to Mining Plaza. The only way we would know spider ball is there is by peeking it through the Mining Plaza glass. Now, unfortunately, it's not positive what Callum saw, as the Echo's ball upgrades, there's 3 of them. You have Cannonball, Boost Ball, and Spider Ball. Spider Ball and Cannonball use the same model, so it's hard to tell. Now, Meta Ridley. Oh, I absolutely love this battle theme. It gets y'all riled up, ready to go for a huge battle. Now with Meta Ridley, biggest thing is we're just going to shoot it till he enters his flying phase and comes crashing down. Once Ridley lands, we're going to ram a boost ball into Ridley's leg. Now you might be wondering, well, why are we using a boost ball instead of some weapons that we have? Well, fun fact, boost ball is a weapon. If you had that large suit of armor coming crashing at you at a high rate of speed, you'd feel a bit of pain as well. So, Meta Ridley takes normal damage from Boost Ball. Boost Ball just does a lot of damage. So if we hit Meta Ridley with Boost Ball when they've landed on the center platform, it just completely ends that phase and moves into the final phase. And chat's making a Sonic joke. Ridley is actually a badnik. Yeah, Ridley is a badnik. That's why he got damaged by spiky morph ball. Alrighty, so this race is almost over. It looks like Bombs on Thardus will have this in the bag. I will say both teams put up an amazing fight. It was anyone's race from the start of this, even to the last few moments. But unfortunately, the lack of Spider Ball on Team ETM's side for Echoes, that's really putting them a little bit behind. And Ivy is still 4 artifacts shy. But until we can finish this race, we have one more boss to go fight. Metroid Prime. Now this fight does take a while. We got 4 phases to this fight. We're just going to fire the weapon that matches the color on Metroid Prime's exoskeleton. And we're going to try to deal as much damage as we can. Unfortunately, we're not getting any luck with these super missiles here. Now, this is a good reason why we want a ton of missiles for Metroid Prime, as the charge combos actually deal a good amount of damage to them. Now, especially Ice Spreader. Ice Spreader does a real good chunk of damage to the exoskeleton. And looks like Ivy just got finished with Omega Pirate. Light ammo on Omega Pirate, so nothing we're worried about. And I'm not sure why it's showing winner. We only said done on one person. Well, that's odd. It shouldn't show winner just by clicking one button. That's an interesting thing I've just learned today. I still have more to learn about this little panel that we use. It looks like Steve found their rhythm for this exoskeleton fight. And good news for Team ETMs, Callum finally has that last artifact, I'm sorry, Dark Aegon key. That's what's locking us from fighting Amorbus to go get that Spider Ball. What I think happened was Callum was just trying to search everywhere to get that last key. And as soon as they got it, now they're going for it. Or maybe not as soon as they got it. But the important thing is Callum's going to fight Amorbus. This will play into their Spider Ball. And then Callum can go beat their game. While Ivy gets the rest of their artifacts and goes to beat his game. Because outside of War Ritual Grounds, I don't believe there's anything left for Callum to go get for Ivy. Oh, we're just taking the time to enjoy the music here. Yep, looks like Callum's finally fighting a Morbus, though. Trying to get Worm Skip. Now, we mentioned Worm Skip earlier, but oh, we missed it. Now, because we didn't damage the worm, we have an attempt to do it again. Now, will Callum get it this time? He's on the right pace for Worm Skip. Can he get it? Yes, he does. That's a successful Worm Skip. Good job, Callum. So as you can see here, Worm Skip happened. We destroyed both worms. The third worm does not have the ability to spawn. So now we will only have 2 worms throughout this final phase of the fight. Now, once again, do not do Worm Skip twice. If you do Worm Skip on phase 2, do not do it on phase 3, or you'll end up soft locking yourself. Fun fact, I had to learn that the hard way. But because Ivy appears to be stationary, that leads me to believe the rest of the artifacts that Ivy needs are in Callum's game. So we have 6, we need 4. It's possible we still have Incash 1, Profane Path. No, I think we got Sank Transit Station, unless we... No, I think we left Sank Transit Station because we couldn't get out. We need Spider Ball for it. Alrighty, and the true final boss of Metroid Prime, we're fighting the Essence. This is what Metroid Prime truly looks like without all that exoskeleton stuff around her. So Steve's going here for an animation cancel. Now, with the pools, they all have a set time, and there's only a set amount of damage Metroid Prime can take from these pools, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the reason we're holding off on our shots is because we're waiting for the animation to finish on Metroid Prime. That way we deal the most amount of damage possible to them and utilize the most that the pool has to offer. This, in turn, allows us to get more damage out and shorten the boss fight. Now, I'm not a Prime expert by any means, so please let me know if I'm wrong on that. But so far, not a bad time with this Essence fight. And just as we said, that's time. That's a GG for Bombs on Thardus.
GG's.
Oh, and we are welcomed by Bombs on Thardus in the booth as we speak, so welcome aboard.
We'll be here in just a moment. Oh no, I see what's going on. Waiting on artifacts. Oh no.
Yeah, I will say it was... Oh, and we welcome Steve to the booth now.
GG's.
Our GG's, Bombs on Thardus. Congratulations on your victory here today. I will say it was close for the longest time. For like the first hour and a half, you and Team ETMS were neck and neck. You were just trading places with each other.
Both do the early Torvis play?
Yeah, so I think what happened was you both entered Aegon at relatively the same time. Now, one of you went for Hive Chamber B first for the Dark Missile Trooper loop, and that ended up being a benefit.
I chased the bombs hit. I saw the bombs hit, and I'm like, no, there's like 3 spots that can be in, they're all in Torvis.
Yeah, with that, you entered Torvis first. You know, Callum held off on Torvis for a little bit, but once Callum entered Torvis, I think the problem was also. I do want to say it was funny as all get out that both you, Steve, and Ivy were stuck at Burn Dome waiting on bombs.
Yeah, I told him. I told him I was at. He was BK'd, so I told him just stay there.
That
Like,
was about one thing I had left in logic. I could have taken the sea urchin I had. I could have gone to do a lower. Oh darn it! What's the room that's a vanilla morphball? Could have done the
lower
room,
room.
but I think that was a missile anyways, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah, having wave and knowing I'd have to come back if I left there, yeah.
And after the Magmor stuff and getting the lava lake artifact, I told him I was like, leave the last one behind. You can come back and get it at the very end.
Right.
Because I'm like, we're probably not getting Varia at this point because it is either, because we didn't get it, it is either Lower Torvis or Hazencliff.
Ivy got it. I can see it on the tracker.
I will tell you this now, Arrow. You are correct in one of your guesses.
Well, I'm about to see it in Steve's credits, so...
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to wait for you to see it.
Do I wait for the credits to actually catch up, or do I pop as soon as I see it on my screen?
No, we'll just react. We'll just wait for Arrow to notice it. I thought it was a funny location. But
like,
yeah,
either Hazencliff or like it had to be Lower Torvis because like I full cleared Aegon, I full cleared Upper Torvis.
Oh, Steve saw it.
Alpha blog.
I love it.
yeah. Varia was on Alpha blog.
Funny enough, I actually skipped Alpha blog in favor of rushing the Emerald Hints, which paid off because. I scanned the Luminoff corpse and I'm like, alright, turn around, stop what you're doing, this is Echo Visor, turn around, it's right here.
Yeah, Catacombs was just beautiful timing.
A lot of our items chain in each other really well. Like I said, this scene was pretty much god routed for the most part.
Yeah, I think you both played exceptionally well. As well as Team ETMs when they get in here. After they finish their final bosses.
Yeah. Well, see how they're not far behind? I think the difference probably was Callum probably didn't rush or route in the prime artifacts as well.
Yeah, I want to say
I'd have to watch it. I'd have to watch it back to see exactly what the differences were, but it might just be the difference. Oh, Callum's been. He must have just sank early.
Yes. So the biggest thing was you.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. You went into Torvis first. You made a beeline for those prime bombs, and that was great to get Steve moving. Mm-hmm. Callum did a little bit more of Aegon first, then dipped into Torvis, then went to Dark Torvis. So I'm not sure if Callum either didn't see it or couldn't get to it. As bombs were on Forgotten Bridge of all places. That was a great place for him, by the way.
Yeah, that was Steve's call thinking after my first guess was wrong. And he's like, probably Forgotten Bridge. And I'm like, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
And then happening to finding Screw Attack on the way was just beautiful.
Yeah, so Callum tried to get a few of these artifacts. They were just locked behind Spider, of all things. Speaking of which, Spider in Main Plaza, of all places.
Yep, I saw that and I was like, alright, we got worms.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we did see Cannonball over in Watery Hall today, right?
That was Boost Ball.
That was Boost Ball. Oh, so it wasn't Cannonball.
No,
right, I was here thinking,
I never saw Cannonball and I forgot to look through credits where Cannonball was.
Oh, I thought we saw it. That's my mistake then.
Yeah, because I never got Cannon.
I don't think it would have done any good anyway in this race.
Also, gotta love getting centered because Samus decides to Screw Attack over Dark Samus's head.
Yeah, that was you had a great stun lock opportunity going for you early on.
Yep. But then after Dark Samus came down, I got it back into where I could start Screw Attacking, and then I'd do it again.
Yeah, it would have really helped you if you had more ammo.
Yeah, well, I mean, I intentionally cut my ammo because my plan was to just fire the annihilator shot so they rely on screw attack. So I purposely cut my ammo down to just enough to where I wouldn't overfire and get instant.
Oh, there you go. That's smart. Now that way you don't risk over damaging her and having
And just how
having a
full
hard
health
fight.
for centering. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the profane path artifact. Yeah, everything just routed so well together for us. Like as soon as I beat a Morbus, I was like, I'm not gonna turn this in yet. I'm going straight to Torvis. I'm gonna hunt Echo first. I'll come back with Echo. Worked out well because the first place I looked, Lower Torvis had Echo.
Yeah, I think y'all just got real lucky with where
We
Echo
got real
was.
lucky with the routing. Like we literally called almost every move correctly. The only thing the only misfire was me thinking Hall of Honor dead for bombs.
Now I will say at the time it did make logical sense. It's near a boost spinner. You have early seekers. Technically, you almost had early supers if you went to underground tunnel earlier.
Yeah, the only thing I could have done better would have been entering underground tunnel. If I had done underground tunnel first, yeah, that would have been the one thing that would have saved this time.
No, that's another thing. That's a fault on my part because the tunnel. I could have sworn the model was his super, so I thought that was where it was. That's why I went back there, even though it was just a missile. But I thought I'd seen the super model for Echoes, so no, that was another. You don't call that a hot dog. That was just a misread, but.
Wait,
no, I can be
what
blamed.
artifact is Ivy still missing?
We are still missing. Grand Wind Chamber.
Wind Chamber was an STK. Right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was an STK. I was so confident, and I was
think
mistaken.
they just need to move so that way they can receive it, because they're in
a safe room for it.
No, I mean like they're in the idle animation right now.
Let me see. Life Grove.
Isn't there a quirk about?
No. It's if it's paused, it's a problem.
I'm honestly not too sure which artifact he's missing. I'm looking at that Life Grove we got, Fiery Shores we got. Oh, it could be War Ritual Grounds.
War Ritual Grounds.
Yeah, you save a War Ritual Grounds to the very end. That way, Count can go beat their game.
I was so happy I was able to get that on STK Hints. I was so happy I could get that on first pass.
Yeah, you got lucky with that Echo, with that Dark Visor.
Dark Visor was right there at the beginning, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Dark Visor is just a freebie. It was a gimme. You know, let's talk about visors for a minute, shall we?
We had a lot of hint advisors. There were so many hint advisors that I had to look back at the hints multiple times.
I want to touch on that X-ray visor for a minute, Steve. Dark beam locked behind X-ray and grapple.
We were happy to see it.
It's an interesting spot for dark beam. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, but yeah.
Like I was even happy because of how we routed. I didn't even need to do any kind of like crazy shenanigans.
No, absolutely not.
The items were there. I think the only time we went out of bounds was just randomly grabbing Cash B because I didn't have supers.
Now, I do want to say this would be a time to hear some amazing Ridley music. Unfortunately, Ivy's audio is not working today.
Oh, it's still broken? Darn.
It's fixed on their side. It's just whatever relay the booth has to their feed is severed somewhere to where we can't verify it. And that stinks because Ridley's boss music is absolutely amazing.
Logically, Reed, the seat's kind of funny. But I also say outside of one thing, we kind of god routed it. So, but I get to pass today.
I get to pass, really.
My only complaint is the spider ball in Mining Plaza.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
But the Torvis keys were pretty free. Shoutouts to required Thardus throw Torvis key. Not Torvis key, Aegon key.
Aegon key. Yeah, I mean, have you ever thought about just out of bouncing those Aegon keys? Maybe just skipping the fight?
Yeah, that's one I have not bothered to learn.
I don't blame you. That's a difficult multi-room out of bounds.
I have considered learning it, but it's just
super?
really stupid. Oh, the first super missed. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Callum whiffed it.
Callum has double damage, though.
He does.
Where was that?
That was... I think I missed it, actually. I know chat pointed it out as it happened. I just never wrote it down.
I would have loved that, in Emperor Ring 1, because I got bullied by Emperor Ring 1. Thankfully, Emperor Ring 2 was perfect, and 3 was mostly cooperative.
Yeah, that was a clean Emperor Ring 3. It was like only 2 screw attacks.
2 screw attacks, I was happy with that. Usually it's the other way around. I usually have a clean Emperor Ring 1, and Emperor Ring 3 is usually a pain for me.
I agree.
He immediately went aggro on Callum. Oh no!
Emperor Ring does not like Callum for some reason.
Immediately jump.
Ooh, did he get something with that? Yeah,
Only a little.
Hey, something's better than none. A little bit more.
Ah, bonk.
A little bit more.
I love it when you're in mid-screw attack and Emperor Ring just launches you.
Either that, or it's the other way around and Emperor Ring actually launches out of the arena.
I am lucky to say, in all the times I've played Echoes, I've not yet had Emperor Ing launch out the arena, but I've come close a couple of times. I've gone airborne.
I want to say the only time I've ever seen it was in a race setting. But I've yet to see it again. But I keep hearing it's a terrible thing to have happen because it soft locks you in the arena.
No, I'm just, that was was that the Echoes Mentor tournament I was in? Twice I locked I caused the glitch, screw attacking during the laser show, and glitched out the game.
Oh, which laser
Let's
show?
go, Callum. Let's go, Callum. Don't get centered.
Gotta finish in the rest time room, so yeah, probably did not get centered.
Will we see a stun lock here on Dark Samus?
This is looking like the Dark Beam strat. Yep. He's got enough ammo for the Dark Beam. Oh!
Gonna find her, though. There she is.
Go.
That's a good luck. Yeah, we're solid with that.
With double damage?
No.
Oh,
lucky she went back away from the center.
When doing this with the Dark Beam strat, you really want to have Echo on so you can stay locked on.
Yeah, where is she? Where'd she go? Still close to that center.
One more hit.
That's
there we go.
a GG for Callum. Nice stun lock. That means there's only one boss left to go fight, and that's the Metroid Prime. You know, I do like this ending cutscene for Echoes, though. Dark versus light. You have Dark Samus just disappear into a cloud of Phazon dust. But yet she comes back in corruption for some reason.
Well, yeah, she didn't die. She just disappears into the Phazon.
And speaking of which, I think it's safe to say she's just gone forever after the events of corruption.
That's because Phazon is removed, is eradicated, so yeah.
Yeah, Planet Phase is just gone. It explodes. Or implodes. No, I think explode's the right word.
Ivy had a much more cooperative Exo, though.
And Reed's telling us it's Samus, a planet was destroyed, and that's enough.
This is true.
Yeah, we've destroyed Planet Phase, we've destroyed... what else do we destroy?
See, that's the true crime of Metroid Prime 4. A planet didn't get destroyed.
Oh, wow, you're right. Yeah. I gotta think about that one.
I mean, by that logic, yeah, no. I mean, 3's the only outlier, because 3's the only one that of the Prime series that destroys a planet, so...
I'm glad you specified.
Actually, you have a good... Well, I don't know. 2, you technically destroyed Dark Aether. I mean, we don't know that. True. We don't know if the planet was actually destroyed in the end. It was left open-ended intentionally, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. We do destroy Dark Aether, but is that really... You know, I guess it really is us. The stability of the planet's all gone. But is it really a planet, or is it just a copy of bits and pieces? Because it could be essentially living in 2 spaces of time consecutively.
I'm going to offer the contrarian opinion. No, we did not see a gigantic cutscene.
Destroyed, yeah.
Boom, therefore...
Yeah, we just saw it vaporize, basically.
We kind of get the shifting of, okay, here's the dark vapors going away, not here's a planet, here's a big old flash, and then there's nothing.
All right, so what do you call the impact crater then?
GG's.
That's time.
Oh, we're going to see Callum's credits, so we'll actually get a refresher on where both Cannonball and Double Damage was.
Oh,
probably a B-memo would have also been nice.
Yeah, that would have been a nice thing. But we're going to send those last invites out to Team ETMs. We're going to try to get them in the booth for some post-game interviews. Until that time, we do have some lovely folks over in chat. So if anyone has any questions for any of our teams today...
Unlimited B-memo was Hive Gyro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, y'all were never getting that. Yeah, that was never happening.
Nope.
No, I only want, like, GG's. I was about to say, I only walked in the sink one time, and that was to get an artifact.
But with that being said,
we welcome... Security access A, yeah, we weren't getting that.
Hive Dynamo for Cannonball! No, you were never getting that.
No.
Yeah. Nope. We were never getting Cannonball today. That's fine. We didn't need it.
All right, with that being said, we welcome Team ETMs to the booth. Ivy Pond, Callum, Chris, welcome aboard. Great match overall.
Yeah, I worked out where the seed wanted to go in the stupid way.
Yeah,
I realized I didn't do.
We got really lucky because I tunnel visioned the bomb tent and went straight to Torvus before even didn't do Dark Aegon, didn't do labs.
No, I done the exact same.
Yeah, it's like straight to Torvus.
It wanted you to grab the plasma before going back to Torvus.
Yeah, well, after Torvus, I didn't leave. I didn't go back to do Aegon until I fought a Morbus.
I didn't have I don't think I got the keys until there.
Yeah, I didn't go back to Aegon until I was like, alright, hopefully this key in Mines is somewhere I can just fight a Morbus while I'm back in Aegon. I went back and went to... I was so happy when I went to Lower Torvus, hunting Echo, instead of returning the energy, though.
Here's the fun
once I left to go to Aegon. Because I realized something has to be over there. Because Prime shouldn't be... still shouldn't be moving properly.
Yeah. We never got...
Something wasn't correct.
We never got Varia.
Yeah, it's an alpha block.
Varia was on blog.
Yeah.
I went there. I fought him. I fought him out of spite.
Yeah, I felt... like after we did the first set of heat runs, I was like, cool, I'm not too worried about Varia at this point. So... And I found Plasma.
It kept coming.
Yeah. Also, the moment I went back to Aegon, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the back of Aegon first, and then go through Doomed Entry to get out.
Mm.
And that's when I found the plasma, and I was like, cool. Go to mines, please find my Aegon key.
Yeah, my
Not mines,
plan,
Magmore. It was Magmore. Was the thing.
my
Back
plan
when I
was to
Shrine.
just my plan for the key in transit tunnel was just to save scum it, but I messed up and just went fuck it. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I never entered Sank until I was literally just there for the artifact.
Yeah, so speaking on that routing a bit. So, Callum, you entered Torvus almost at the same time Arrow did. But you did a little bit, you did more of Dark Torvus instead of going straight for those bombs. Now, it wasn't a huge time loss, maybe just a minute or so. But when it comes to Sanctuary, Callum, you entered Sanctuary first, I believe. You tried getting Sank Transit Station, but without Spider Ball, you came oh so close.
Oh, I came close, and I just wanted to. I went, oh, fuck it, I'll just grab the hint and leave. Grab the hint. Took a bit of time getting out of that room.
Yeah, speaking of Spider Ball, at what point did you both realize that, oh, Spider Ball is there, of all places?
I checked it first pass. So
No, I checked it. It looked too. It looked too big. Basically.
No, I was certain it was Spider immediately.
Yeah, I was asking him.
Because I looked at it, was like, it's a ball. I know it's a ball. Ivy didn't look at it. I went, it's a ball. I don't remember when I got my last Aegon key. I was already just in clean up where I was going, routing wise. And so I ended up after you. I think it was just before you finished, like 140 or something like that.
Yeah, I finished 150.
So I think that's when I went, oh, it has to be there, because I was out of checks, and Ivy was finishing checks. So we're like, okay, it has to be there. We thought it was a bit big. We ruled it as Cannonball because it looked too big.
Oh no!
Because that thing does magnify the items slightly. Not a lot.
No.
Just a tiny bit.
I got used to playing so much Echoes lately. When I saw Mind Plaza, and I'm like, that is 100% Spider Ball.
No, I should have just went back and rechecked it when I had Amber.
Yeah.
To get the Amber hit and just recheck it, because I could have went to the nice standable area and just space jump, looked at it, and I would have got sort of clearly with Spider, but I didn't. I just didn't bother because I should have done it on my pass back, but I didn't.
There's a decent peak spot if you're walking through NSJ, you know, like where the Amber Hint is?
Yes.
Before you get to the Amber Hint, there's a good peak spot as soon as you get on that center platform.
There's multiple. You can look for it quite good down below as well, on like both sides. Actually, there's one close to the translator gate. As you sort of moves from that, you can sort of see quite well as well. I use F5 bomb, so I go that side instead of the other way. I looked at it looked slightly bigger. But to be honest, as a way around, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Well, I think you both put up an amazing fight in the race. It was close for like the first hour to an hour and a half in.
I mean, I was like, when I did Zord, I was considering going to say Warping out, but it was like, once I found him as waves, like, I want to keep this.
Thankfully,
yeah, I don't blame you.
Steve did the same thing, but thankfully at the time, we were only like 2 or 3 minutes away from bombs. I was like, you're going to have bombs in just a minute. It's got to be bridge.
It can't be too
far. I was thinking of the
you
one area of the
him.
Forgotten Bridge. Just like, once we didn't see the one, like, oh, it's Forgotten Bridge. All right.
I mean, worst case scenario is that it could have been training chamber bombs, which would have really sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been main gyro too, because that's got a spinner as well.
Oh, there is a spinner in main. Oh gosh. Well, yeah, no, oh. With where Echo ended up being, though, yeah, no way, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We worked it out once we worked out the spinners, the spinner type thing. We worked out it had to be in Taurus, and just sort of, I did beeline for it. Then I just went, I should just finish Dark. I had everything to do Dark Taurus while I'm in there. So we're going, I might as well just finish.
I did the first Dark Torvus pack thing. I didn't have supers, so
I had super, so I just went.
I didn't. I entered Torvus from the front actually, because I rushed. When we got the spinner from Morph Ball Bombs, I checked Hall of Honor dead first.
Yeah, I checked that too.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking too. It's like it's all on a dead, and as we see nothing, it's like, oh,
Didn't
and it's probably program range. We deduce that. It's like, oh, it's there. Right.
Didn't feel comfortable doing the free E-tank, shoot the portal, get out.
I think I had 4 at that time.
Yeah, I'd only had 3. 4, I would have tried it. Because you had to do space jump, get up there with the slope jump. Also, I didn't have a suit at the time. Because I didn't do ship pass.
Yeah, speaking of suits, nice dupla suit on the GFMC crate.
Great, yeah.
You know, that would have been amazing if that would have been my dark suit, but that was my light suit.
So you went to pick up the Torvus one first. Yeah.
I had the Torvus one first, and I'm like, oh, well, that sucks.
I only picked that up to fight Boost Guardian. The only reason I picked it up.
I picked it up when I got it. I'm like, all right, well, let's go ahead and dupe a second light suit like it's gonna do something.
Ultralight suit.
Still nice.
Petition to make the third suit a Phazon suit cheat and just make Prime happy.
Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to do here.
I mean, make it like the super light suit, so instead of no damage of Aether or Dark Aether, you heal from Dark Aether.
You heal in Dark Aether.
No, I just think it should just put the damage reduction on.
Yeah, damage reduction too. That would be funny. So, oh.
Yeah, I worked out the routing. The routing was stupid. It was dumb.
Oh yeah, like logically this seed's a mess.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a logical nightmare. The correct answer is just stay in Torvus.
No, the correct answer is once you get Light Beam, get Plasma, then just stay in Torvus for as long as humanly possible. Then wait until your worm keys and then come out.
Then go do worm keys to spider. Then go full clear.
Yeah.
Then just touch Sank a little and just leave.
Yeah, I was only in sync long enough for the artifact.
I mean, that's all you really needed, honestly.
Yeah. Really, all you needed, and there was nothing there. There was
nothing else there.
Not really E-tanks. There were just missiles.
Really, and there was Cannonball missiles. If you really wanted to fight Spider Guardian for it.
Yeah, you want about E-tanks. Ivy, you had enough health there with 10 E-tanks?
At the end, yeah, I had 11.
Jeez.
I was concerned with the amount where heat run was like 6, 7. Like I could, but with just gravity, it's like the heat damage is still gonna hurt me because it's only 10% still. So.
Oh yeah, we had gravity and Phazon already.
Yeah, once I found Phase, like yeah, I could go do that right now. But it's like I was finish up mines that plasma. And do all that,
I think I think the upper Fiery Shores artifact was the last artifact.
For us, I think Steve, because you were really trying to get through with like 4, 5 E-tanks at most with your heat runs.
Succeeded though because in Triclops Pit, I sent an E-tank. So
yeah, you got lucky with that, by the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, Lava Lake.
Me and Ivy did get all the PBs.
Yeah, we kept getting like, oh hey, a PB for Echoes. Oh look, another one.
I kept finding burgers like nobody's business.
I think I was only missing maybe 1 Echoes PB. Like they were everywhere.
That'll be Incash too then, because unless you went to Incash too.
Yeah, for Prime Water it was the Incash.
I did go to Incash too. I did go to Incash too. Okay. Because like I had almost everything already. We were already just Echo away, almost. So I was like, when I went back to Aegon to clean up, I went to Dark Aegon. Instead of doing Light Beam first because I knew it was an artifact, I went to Incash 2 first and just looped all the way around.
Yeah, I didn't do that because I wanted to use the portal. I wanted to use a portal to get. I wanted to use a portal to go. I wanted to go out for Warriors Walk.
That's where I entered. So I was leaving through so I left through Warriors Walk because that's when my first trip to Dark Aegon was my only trip to Dark Aegon. I fought Jump Guardian, then I fought Amorbis.
I was tempted to try and dupe Dark Missile Trooper.
Yeah, so I want to break off for just a minute. Arrow, we're disappointed. You want to explain to us your reason for harming that Lightbringer?
I already said we said this last race. My team.
I know you said it
named
last race. I'm
CGC.
asking you this
No,
race as well.
My CGC team name next tournament is going to be Injustice for Lightbringers.
Yeah, that's.
Speaking of team names, who do I file a formal complaint with? I mean, we named ourselves Bombs on Thardus.
And didn't get
we
it
were putting
once.
it into the universe.
Yeah, none of the
and we
teams we've
still
had
never
had
got
that
it.
either. It's like, huh.
It didn't happen. I mean, we had to
Well-
require Thardus.
I
But,
will. Yeah, I'm going to take your complaint real quick. I'm going to forward it up the chain of command to Reed. He's my direct
Reed-
supervisor for these matters.
Okay,
No, it
Reed,
clearly
no,
goes
as
to
many
Baja.
certified Reed seeds have been out of this tournament already. I mean, one of them could have been us and get some Bombs on Thardus action. That could have been
Also,
hilarious.
one thing I will thank Reed for is I have not had to fight Quad or Chica any this tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you,
you're lucky.
you got lucky. We've had
No,
plenty
Quad,
of
There
required
was
no,
one
check.
time with Chica, which
Oh,
was
I've been watching.
Bella
There have
Dark.
been some certified
No, we've had
Reed
two.
seeds.
Now, I have fought a
Oh, yeah, we've had
Morbus
two, yeah.
almost every race, but you know,
Well, the Morbus itself isn't terrible. It's just
no, Morbus is completely fine. I'm sad that I by a frame missed Worm Skip.
you were close. It was
Yeah.
the delay in the bomb on the first worm
On the
that
first
really
worm
just
that did it. That's why I was like, I
Yeah.
gotta zoom.
yeah. But that
I
slight
called-
bomb delay was just long enough.
Oh Lord!
I called
what
them
have
Ed
I
and Eddie.
done, Reed.
Yeah. So real quick before Reed starts getting up and coming down to this commentary booth, any final words from our teams today? Anything you'd like to say to
GG.
Baja?
This
Other
was
than the
my-
aspect
this
that
was-
taunted me for plaza processing. And then
Oh,
about a minute
was that
later, I
right?
get thought, I was like, well, let me just backtrack to get that ice spinner now. I should have just stayed looking at it and walked in and grabbed it.
I will say though, also, because this is the last race of the tournament, I'm gonna give Steve a little bit of credit here. There's a few tricks Steve has learned on the fly just from me explaining them during the tournament.
Which ones?
The frigate crash site NSJ is one of them.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't that bad.
Because Sonic Boom was there and he was saving, I was like, hey, try this lockpick on Ice Beam Door. Got it, no
Oh,
problem.
that, yeah.
I was like, let's go.
No, great job, Steve.
You're,
It appears
Twitch.
it,
Twitch, what do you mean? What do you mean it's lost connection? I legit hit the end stream button.
yeah, well,
Twitch.
we're looking at it on our side as well on the
I'm looking
restream.
at it too, and I'm like, Twitch.
I think that's
I
the
actually
problem.
hit. Yeah, but I actually hit the button, so that shouldn't be what's coming up.
Well, no, here's the problem. Reed actually just kicked in the door to this commentary booth. We've got approximately a minute and a half before he makes his way over here to our desk. So with that, I think we're going to start wrapping up our program. Congratulations to both teams, Bombs on Thardus, Teams ETMs. You both put up an amazing fight. It was close. All right, look, there was less than 20 minutes apart from both of your teams. It was... You two don't realize how close of a race it was.
Yeah, that was literally the story of every race for us this tournament. Like, this actually was the biggest gap in the tournament for us. Every race was closer. I was like, oh my gosh, so many close races.
But with that, in reference to our races, we have 4 more races left to go for at least for this first bracket stage. We have no more tonight. It's already going on 11 o'clock Eastern, so we're going to wrap it up for the day. Tomorrow,
Yeah,
June
GG,
27th. June 27th, 3 o'clock p.m. Team Combo versus Team Beer. So you can follow that at 8 o'clock Eastern. Justice for Lightbringers versus Team GFMC. Sunday, June 28th, 4 p.m. You have Team Beer going against French Vanilla. And lastly, Monday on the 29th, 4 p.m. also, Competence Incorporated going against Striped Duck. So with that being said, that's all our races for now. Nothing more for tonight from us here at Speed Gaming, at least on the Metroid Prime side of things. But on that, if no one else says anything, thank you all for joining us here today for the continuation of our cross-game randomizer tournament. Be sure to give our our runners to follow down below. Their information is posted for their Twitch links. You can find information and reference to our tournament on that handy-dandy bracket link posted. But until next time, we will see you next mission.
We will see you next mission.